Stop buying compost. 7 perennial plants that build soil for free. If you've ever winced at the price of bagged compost or found yourself hauling home heavy sacks only to watch them disappear into your garden in no time, you're not alone. I've been there too. Compost is gold for our plants, but let's be real. It can get expensive, and store-bought compost often falls short of the living, microbe-rich soil food our gardens truly crave. Here's the good news. You don't need to keep shelling out for compost. Nature has her own quiet workers, plants that build soil for you, year after year, without fail. These aren't quick one-season fixes. They're perennials, the long-game allies in your garden that dig deep, pull up nutrients, drop their own mulch, and enrich your soil while you sit back and watch the magic unfold. Today, here on Soilsage Chronicles, I'm sharing the perennials I trust to do the heavy lifting in my own beds. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned gardener, these plants will save you money, feed your soil, and transform your growing space into a self-renewing ecosystem. Annuals are sprinters. They grow fast, give quick harvests, and then they're gone. Perennials, on the other hand, are marathoners. They settle in, establish deep root systems, and work steadily season after season. These roots don't just anchor plants. They reach down to bring up minerals that shallow-rooted vegetables could never access. Every autumn, when perennials shed their leaves or die back, they leave behind organic matter that decomposes right where your soil needs it most. Over time, this adds up to rich, dark humus, basically nature's version of free compost delivery. Some perennials even fix nitrogen, pumping fertility straight into your beds without you lifting a shovel. Comfrey, the compost factory in plant form. Let's start with a powerhouse, Comfrey. This herb has a taproot that drills down several feet into the subsoil, mining potassium, calcium, and trace minerals most plants can't touch. All of that nutrition gets stored in its lush, broad leaves. Here's the trick. Cut Comfrey down a few times a year and lay those leaves right on top of your beds. They break down fast into a rich, worm-attracting mulch. Do this regularly and you've got a constant source of fertility without buying a single bag of compost. Some gardeners also make Comfrey tea, a liquid fertilizer brewed from its leaves. Trust me, it's smelly, but your plants will think they're dining at a 5-star buffet. Yarrow, nature's soil conditioner. Yarrow might look delicate with its feathery leaves and clusters of tiny blooms, but don't underestimate it. This perennial works on multiple fronts. First, it's a dynamic accumulator, pulling minerals from deep underground into its foliage. When those leaves die back or get chopped down, they feed the topsoil beautifully. Second, Yarrow's root system helps loosen compacted soil, creating channels for air and water. And let's not forget, Yarrow attracts pollinators and beneficial insects so your veggies and flowers get a boost too. Think of it as a soil doctor and pollinator magnet all in one. Lupines, the nitrogen fixers. Here's a big one, nitrogen. It's the nutrient plants need most, but it's also the one that runs out fastest. Instead of buying nitrogen-rich fertilizers, you can let lupines do the job. As legumes, lupines team up with soil bacteria to capture nitrogen from the air and fix it into the soil. That nitrogen becomes available to surrounding plants when lupine roots die back, or when you chop and drop the stems and leaves. Plus, with their spiky blooms, lupines bring color and pollinators into the garden. I love planting them at the edges of my beds. They build soil and put on a show at the same time. Rhubarb, the overlooked mulch maker. Most of us know rhubarb for its tart stalks in pies and jams, but rhubarb is also a soil-building ally. Its massive leaves, while inedible to us, are pure gold for the soil. Chop them up after harvest and lay them down as mulch around your vegetables or fruit bushes. The leaves break down into organic matter, and because they're so broad, they smother weeds while they do it. Rhubarb comes back stronger each year, meaning more free mulch delivered to your garden season after season. Jerusalem artichoke, the root builder. Also known as sunchokes, Jerusalem artichokes are vigorous perennials with roots that do double duty. First, you can harvest the edible tubers, nutty, crunchy, and delicious roasted. Second, any tubers you leave behind feed the soil as they decompose. The tall, sunflower-like stalks also make excellent chop-and-drop mulch. This plant is a little aggressive, so give it space where it can spread without taking over your main beds. Done right, it becomes a renewable source of biomass to enrich your soil. Nettles, the wild fertility booster. Stinging nettles might not be the friendliest plant to brush against, but they're soil champions. Like Comfrey, they're nutrient accumulators, packing their leaves with nitrogen, iron, and trace elements. Cut them down and use them as mulch, or steep them in water for a potent liquid feed. Nettles are also early risers in spring, meaning they start building soil before many other plants even wake up. If you've got a corner of the garden where nettles can grow without being a nuisance, they'll pay you back in fertility many times over. How to work with these plants. The key to success with soil-building perennials is learning to partner with their natural cycles. Don't just let them grow and wither. Step in at the right times to harvest leaves, stems, or roots for your compost, mulch, or garden beds. Cut Comfrey several times during the growing season and use the leaves as mulch. Trim Yarrow or Lupines after flowering to return nutrients to the soil. Harvest rhubarb stalks but recycle those massive leaves directly into your beds. Grow Jerusalem artichokes where you don't mind them spreading, then chop the stalks in autumn for biomass. Use nettles carefully, gloves are your friend, but keep a patch for brewing liquid fertilizer. By cycling nutrients back into your soil this way, you create a closed-loop system where your garden feeds itself. That's the kind of resilience no store-bought compost can match. Why this matters. When you stop relying on bagged compost, you're not just saving money, you're building a garden that can sustain itself. Every perennial you plant is an investment that pays back year after year, creating a living soil that's teeming with worms, fungi, and microbes. Healthy soil grows healthier plants, and healthier plants feed us better. It's a cycle as old as time, and when we step into it, we realize we don't need to buy fertility. It's already right here, waiting in the roots and leaves of these powerful perennials. Final thoughts: build soil, not expenses. Friends, if there's one lesson gardening has taught me, it's that nature is generous. We don't need to keep draining our wallets to buy what the earth provides freely. By growing Comfrey, Yarrow, Lupines, rhubarb, Jerusalem artichokes, nettles, and other perennial allies, you set up a garden that regenerates itself. So stop buying compost. Start planting soil builders. Watch your garden transform into a thriving ecosystem where fertility flows naturally. If you found this guide helpful, do me a favor. Hit subscribe to Soilsage Chronicles and share this with a fellow gardener who's tired of lugging home heavy bags of compost. Together we'll grow soil wisdom that lasts for generations.